pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The district.
Is this plugged in?
Yeah.
There we go.
The mission of the Exeter West Greenwich Regional School District is to empower students to dream, reach, and succeed. Open forum, 3-minute time limit for individual, 15-minute maximum time allowed for open forum. Comments must be directed to the chairperson of the school committee, who may limit or terminate the discussion. No comment should address personnel, litigation, or negotiations as restricted by open meetings regulations. The school committee cannot take action or vote on topics introduced that are not reflected on the agenda. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Anyone online? Okay, we'll move to the consent agenda.
Under consent, we just have the approval of the regular meeting minutes from September 13th, executive meeting minutes of the same date, and the regular meeting minutes of September 27th. We also have our monthly bills, and that is it.
I'm going to pull the September 27th. And I just had a quick question on the bills too. Then I'll have entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of September 13th and the executive meeting of September 13th, the personnel items and the homeschool approvals.
So moved.
Second. Okay, all those in favor? And I abstain on. Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes of the September 27th meeting. Second. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain? Aye.
Abstain for absence.
Two abstentions. Okay, on the bills, I just had one question. It was from last time to this, for Tish. The Rhode Island recovery, we have the negative in there. Is that, you know, going with that deal we were going with solar or something?
Oh, the Rhode Island Energy?
Rhode Island Energy.
Yes.
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 And
That's
is
what
that really, that looks like it's making a difference, because I saw it last month and this month again.
Yes, yes. We do have a charge from, yes, thank you. We do have a charge that we get from the company, the green industry that owns the solar farm. So I intend to put together a schedule to show like the net impact of their fees versus the credits that we're receiving. So
It looks like we're getting a good break on there. We need it.
yeah, yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to accept the bills as presented.
So
Second. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence correspondence. Did anyone want to pull correspondence? Monthly status report. Someone want to address any issues on that?
Did count? Is that under there?
I think that was further on the
All right.
draft.
It's not under reports, okay.
No, I think it wasn't it later.
It's
I think
under,
it was under new business.
Is it?
I thought.
F under new business.
Yeah. Then moving along to new business, legal opinion, the employment contracts prohibition discussion, GL 3616-1.
Want to talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
But who's talking first?
Why don't you ask the question, I'll answer it.
There you go. So I asked an opinion on this part of Rhode Island municipal law regarding upon termination of a municipal employee, what they're entitled to in terms of compensation. So the question that I asked for from our solicitor was an opinion. This has come before us before, and I am asking yet, another opinion on this because I always had a little bit of, shall we say, consternation or something, because we did something and it didn't seem to me consistent with the law, because it seemed to me, and I can't read it because I don't have my glasses, I apologize. There's a paragraph that says, upon termination of the employee is entitled to 6 months of compensation. And I think that's the part of the law that I want to focus on, but opinions from our solicitor may be more encompassing than that. So I'm going to turn it over to Bob and ask him to explain what he came up with.
I do my best not to talk with a lawyer. So I'm going to try to make it common sense. The question comes down to, does Rhode Island general law, and I'll read it to you, the pertinent parts. Termination, damages, or benefits, including continuation of salary or other compensation for more than 6 months from the date of termination, or severance pay, accepting accrued vacation, sick leave benefits or health benefits for more than 1 year from the date of termination. Those are the two sections that you're talking about. So section number 1, which is termination damages, must be paid within 6 months. My read of this statute in its entirety is that doesn't relate to the amount of pay. For example, let's say I had a job where I made $50,000 a year and I was terminated from employment here as a teacher. If they paid me $50,000 within 6 months, that is a year's salary, but it would meet the letter of the law of 3616-1 because they paid it within 6 months. It's paying it for over a longer period of time. Now you could say, well, that might be, the purpose of the General Assembly might be that they want the bills paid quickly. More likely, they don't have a person's benefits and sick time, et cetera, dragged out for a period of 6 months without knowing, because I didn't research where this may have come from, what problem, what cause of action this may have come from. The General Assembly said, well, we're going to settle it all. People who are terminated are going to get paid their terminating benefits within 6 months. Sometimes those terminating benefits, in this instance, as a principal, might involve a year's salary. I was just listening to, forget what it was, some former successful college football coach that got fired by a pro team, and his the amount of money that was due in this contract was 40 million. So is he gonna get paid over time, or is he gonna get $40 million in 6 months? Can be a lot of money sometimes. So in this instance, it eliminates the arguing, I could look at for a meaning for it, eliminates the argument over how long the district would have to pay severance pay to a terminated employee to 6 months. And it does not mean that you can only get 6 months payment. An equivalent of what 6 months of your pay would have been. That's my opinion.
So we don't have severance, right? We don't have, yeah, we don't support severance.
Yep.
We do support upon termination, perhaps. If they don't have a contract, right? I think the committee, for lack of a better word, because I'm not an attorney, pretty much open-handed on how they handle that. And the only question I have, and I don't expect to answer that now, and I never want an answer for that now, is payroll and conventions of payroll. In other words, when you work for a company, you sign on and they say you will get paid once a month, or you will get paid twice a week or something like that. And I didn't know, I don't want to strain any synapse on anybody's brains, how that would work against. I understand what you're saying, and if we gave them 6 months salaries in terms of termination, what that would mean to me, that would mean like, well, how do they get paid? They get paid once a year? Do they get paid, like one bundle? Do they get paid monthly? Do they get paid weekly? So I would like a little, I don't have the law in front of me. I do have the law. I just can't read it. But I understand what you're saying. If you're
It's not the amount, it's the time over which you pay that amount.
it's 6 months, it sounds like.
You get 6 months to pay the person whatever you've decided is going to be the benefit upon termination. That might be in a contract. Sometimes they negotiate
Right.
Under certain circumstances.
Right.
They might want to say, I want this person out of here, and I'll give you a year's salary to get out of here.
Right. And there's two paragraphs, one that concerns pay
Yes,
and the other paragraph that concerns with severance.
correct.
They are not the same and they are called out differently in the law.
Yeah.
And we don't support severance. So that limits that. So my feeling is when we give somebody compensation on their termination, we have to work with the definition of what is pay for this individual and how often do they get it, But I'm not asking for that opinion from you. I'm satisfied with your opinion at this point,
Okay,
and you're not going to hear from me anything more on this.
hopefully there's something else.
Something else.
Are we talking about this because we're going through something like this, or is this just?
I think it might have been in the past.
Okay, so this isn't a current issue that we need to be.
Not that I'm
discussing.
aware of, no.
I'm bitter about one.
Well, that's fine. I didn't know if there was an underlying issue as to why we were discussing
Yeah.
the severance.
No, I understand it. And we did get an opinion that I didn't understand. I understand this opinion better.
Okay.
All right. So I thanked our solicitor for that. Thanks.
Okay, and then B, under new business, Rhode Island Department of Education Commission, the Education Commissioner requests to school
Yes.
districts for a report on unprofessional behavior.
Yes, I asked for that to be put on the agenda because I think one of the members had concerned that anything I expressed had to be on the agenda. So I asked this, and it's a simple question. It's difficult for me to read, again, because I don't have my glasses. It's from Mr. Aronakis. So I'm going to read it slowly because everything's out of focus. So Mr. Aronakis, yes or no, past or present, have you ever had to notify the Rhode Island Department of Education of any inappropriate behavior between an employee and students in our district?
No.
Good answer.
Okay, then moving on, To the C, adoption of grade 6 through 12 math program approval. Marie,
Yes, you have before you a recommendation from the grade 6 through 12 math curriculum committee, who's been working on reviewing materials for more than a year. And after looking at 6 materials and piloting 2 particular programs, Reveal Math and Carnegie Learning Math Solution, the curriculum committee and myself are asking the school committee to adopt Reveal Math as its new high-quality mathematics program, and meets all of the requirements of the Rhode Island Department of Education. It scores all green. That's the criteria on a third-party reviewer called Ed Reports. As noted in the materials, there is no fiscal impact to our local budget because these materials have been budgeted through our ESSER funds. And I just want to say I'm really proud of this committee. They, as you could see from the materials that I provided to you, that they've spent more than 150 hours over the past year studying these materials. And we are confident that they are the right materials for our district, given our priorities and our student needs.
sounds very good. Would anyone like to ask?
So, so to give it context, this is 6 through 12
Yes, it is.
and it's math.
Yes.
Now, I saw the city of Warwick was bragging in the Warwick Beacon that they had tremendous improvement in both ELA and mathematics. I don't know, I have it in the trunk of my car, I can read it, but I carry it around with me. They did not use the same curriculum. If I remember it, I could get it before we so I'm kind of hoping that we have, and theirs was almost like a light switch when they turned to the curriculum. And the rollout of this curriculum, if we adopt it, how long do you anticipate the rollout to actually take?
I would say, so when we talk about rollout, just to make sure that we're talking about the same thing, besides deploying of materials, there's professional development that needs to occur. And with this particular program, our grades 6 through 12 teachers have been getting PD. These companies, these two, well, actually the Real Math has been wonderful in providing professional development along the way. So as questions arise during the piloting of materials, we'll hop on with a curriculum specialist and they'll present to us for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours at a time. They're wonderful and very responsive to questions that we have. So when you talk about a rollout, typically it's a year rollout. It may be a little less for this because we have been so involved with the vendor right along.
So for all grades, 6
Grades through 12, yes,
for all grades and all classes,
that's correct.
you feel. So if I'm in high school
Mhm.
and it has effect in mathematics, is it all mathematics? Because, the curriculum for mathematics at the high school level is much richer than it is. And it's, so, you get calculus, you get geometry, you get all that stuff.
Yeah,
So,
point well taken. It would be Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry.
I see.
Yeah.
And for all grades, and within a year, all the grades will be in the new curriculum for mathematics.
Yes. Yes, actually, they'll start teaching it all grades, all subjects, as I just mentioned at the high school, next September.
So does that mean through the up and coming year, through the up and coming year? Through the up and coming year, that would be gradually rolled out?
Can I just ask you what you mean by gradual? Are you talking one grade level at a time, or are you
You
talking
said in September, a year from now, we're gonna be,
full implementation?
so does that mean that everybody starts on the new
Yes,
curriculum September 1st of 2023?
that's correct.
And between now and then, nothing. It's the same.
Well, I'll tell you what between now and then. So the grades 6 through 12 teachers, there's a a program, a separate program that's part of Reveal Math. It's called ALEKS, ALEKS, and it's an intervention program. So for students who are behind grade level materials, this is an intervention program that connects student needs with the core curriculum documents. And they're piloting that right now as well to see if that is a piece that they want to purchase. Why we're excited about this piece is that it's not a separate, sometimes you have to purchase separate intervention programs, but this one is connected directly to the core materials. So the teachers have had 2 trainings in this intervention material, and they're going to have the 3rd one on October 27th when we have an early release day. And Paul, I will go on to say that this vendor, as I said, they've been wonderful with us. They've given us free materials and they have given us complete online access. So teachers will continue to use these materials through the year. It's not that they're going to stop Reveal Math and not see it again until September. We will continue using these materials throughout the year. And once these ESSER funds are approved and available, I will go ahead and purchase the materials. There's no reason to wait until June 20th to put the materials in the hands of teachers. We have the monies available. I will go ahead and purchase it for them. And during the summer, monies will be budgeted during the summer for teachers to work on curriculum as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? If not, I'll make a motion to approve the adoption of Reveal Math for grades 6 through 12 as the new high-quality curriculum program to commence September 2024. All those in favor?
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Frank. Sounds good. Then the 23-24 budget development timeline. Any questions? It's pretty similar.
Yeah, Robin spends a lot of time putting this together based on the outline that is defined in the charter. So each year we bring the timeline with the specific dates to you for review and approval.
Any questions? If not, I'll make a motion to approve the 23-24 budget development timeline as presented.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Then we have the school committee meeting dates.
Pretty standard.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Any questions
On what topic?
on the school committee meeting dates for 2023? They're just, 2 times in January, 2 in February, 2 in March. 2 in and we switch in June to a Wednesday. If not, I'll make a motion to approve the 2023 school committee meeting dates as presented. Second.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
And now we come to the draft. And it looks like I should have brought the other one I had at home. It looks pretty similar to last year, but I'm not sure. I think maybe West Greenwich.
Want to speak to this? Want me to do it?
So it is just a preliminary draft, and I was trying to get the information. I was trying to align with what Mr. Ross had done in previous years in the meetings that he had done it. So I had picked up his template, but there were some considerations, although the percentage points don't, the appropriation doesn't change very much from what is on the page. There are some items that, after talking to the superintendent, that we need to just tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I got the raw data from our data coordinator and tried to put this, into the packet for your review as just a preliminary view, of snapshot of where we are. But
Are there still some kids that we're not sure if they really live there?
So we don't know that yet. Our timeline was that we were going to send the actual addresses to the towns at the end of last week or by today at the latest. In actuality, they're going to go out tomorrow morning because we had something that we needed to verify with Julie, who was out on vacation. So we will get those lists out tomorrow morning, and the towns know that they're coming, and then they will identify for us any addresses that raise a flag for them. And then Tish and I will work with our schools to try to resolve whatever the questions are through the town. So that will go back and forth for many weeks, as you know, from past experience. So we'll have a new draft in the next packet. And we'll just keep reporting on what the towns are indicating are their questions, and whether they've been resolved, and if there are any resolutions to questions that adjust counts or adjust percentages, we'll continue to report that to you on a regular basis. And then the only other thing that I wanted to say is this is the raw percentage, but remember that we have a change to the charter that will roll those percentages. And we haven't, and we will not apply that rolling average until we finalize what the count is. But I can at least give you an idea of what the impact will be. We'll roll it for last year and this year, get rolled together. And then next year, it'll be 3 years of rolling, and we keep going until we hit 5. And then on the 6th year, we drop the first and at the 6th. So that's what the voters approved. That has not been applied here. So I would think then, based on the rolling, that even though the percentage change is small, once the rolling happens, it will actually consolidate that percent change a little bit more.
Question.
Question.
CTE, I always get confused how that's reflected here or not. Are all CTE counts from outside the district?
So it goes 2 ways. If there are students that we pay tuition for to go to an out-of-district location, whether it be for a charter school or for a career in tech, there are kids, we're paying tuition for them, they are included on the count. If we receive children from other districts, they are not reported on this spreadsheet because they don't reside here, and we receive tuition from the other towns, so the other towns claim them. They're part of our enrollment, but they're not part of the distribution of the cost to the 2 towns because we collect tuition for the cost of their education from the outside districts.
And it's the full cost. The tuition is just what we charge the towns, or does it include the state fee as well? So in other words, there's an overall cost which includes the revenue we get from the state that and the local municipalities. Do we just charge them for those children that come in from out of district? The local, no.
So the rates for each town are determined on an annual basis by the Department of Education, and they're published. So if a student comes to us from Coventry, for example, there is a Coventry tuition rate that we charge. And if a kid leaves us and goes to Coventry, then Coventry charges us the Exeter rate or the West Greenwich rate. So it's all a predetermined formula. That happened several years back because there were such enormous discrepancies from town to town in what people were being charged. So this was their effort to try to make it more aligned, equitable. So that if we send a kid and we receive a kid, it's roughly a 1-to-1 offset, roughly, but they are not exact amounts.
So the out of district line, and I probably asked this 20 times for a year, I've been here, close to it. the out-of-district number, which I think is 95, as best as I can read, those are our children that come from either community, either West Greenwich or Exeter, going out of our district.
Yeah, and those represent charter schools and career and tech centers. One of the things that you'll see on the next draft, right, is that we're actually going to begin to break out a new line for children who are our kids, but who go out of district because they're placed for, say, special education purposes, for example. So we've never broken that list out for you before, but we're going to start breaking it out going forward. So you'll see that new line. Again, it's not going to change the percentage tremendously, but we are paying tuition for certain children to go to specialized schools, and they need to be reported on that, on the counts in a separate way, just so that you can see, you know, all the different categories of children that we're responsible for.
Any other questions? Then, the rest of the community.
Well, as you know from past years, Westerly Credit Union offers this grant program annually. Our teachers have always taken advantage of it and submitted multiple applications. We've been really, really fortunate. Every year we have multiple teachers that are awarded. It's a small amount, but it does something really creative and different for the kids in that teacher's classroom. The first one is here. I know there are others on the horizon. I've already heard about them, and we're kind of going through the internal process of getting their budgets approved. So you'll see these Westerly Credit Union grant approvals in the packets probably for the next several meetings. And this one is for the junior high school. The explanation is all there, but it's really augmented in virtual reality. It's pretty amazing stuff.
I want to give it a shot.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And by policy, every grant, regardless of how much it's for, needs to submit a budget impact form that is reviewed by the treasurer's office, signed off by the treasurer, and then I sign off on it, and then it comes to the school committee for approval. So even though it's a small amount, policy says every grant comes to you for approval, just so that we can kind of manage the budgetary part of this. So this particular teacher has submitted everything that was required. It's got Isabel's signature, my signature, and it's good to go.
Anybody have a question? Okay, then I'll make a motion to authorize acceptance of proposal for the Westerly Community Credit Union Teachers Grants, augmented and virtual reality technical grant, junior high school. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thanks.
The capital project update bond discussion.
So I had included in my status report that we were going to be meeting on October 6th as the report goes out to you folks in enough time to review the packet before tonight's meeting. So the meeting had not actually occurred at that time that the report was being written. So it was a very brief meeting. It was held to approve invoices for progress payments, and there was one change order that needed to be approved. There on Friday, the equipment was delivered to Wallaloon to start the roofing project there. And there was a little delay in the material being delivered, and Steve Bailey informed me that he spoke to the delivery truck this afternoon, and he'll be meeting them tomorrow at 7 a.m. And all of the preliminary setup for safety and partitioning an area for the students to be able to have outdoor recess while the project is going on was put into place. And it's a moving fence so as the project moves along, the project managers schedule a segment off the roof in in, so that it can be ripped off and replaced all in the same day, so that there is no chance for leaking or anything. So as the project crew moves across the building, the access to outdoor recess will be moved as well by our maintenance team. So we do have a meeting scheduled with the principal at Metcalf. Lori Radigan will be meeting with us tomorrow at 10 a.m. She'll be with the project team to identify any concerns that, you know, as she's the boots on the ground in the building, could maybe bring to the attention of the team before they move there. The team will be at Moreland for a week or so before they're working at both buildings at the same time for the duration of the project after the first week. So that's where we're at. It's exciting to see work actually starting. It's very, very exciting.
Important. Oh, did anyone have any questions? Important dates and meetings, Tuesday, October 25th, 2022, school committee meeting, Tuesday, November 8th, school committee meeting, and Tuesday, November 22nd, school committee meeting. Okay, I will make a motion to move to executive session at
6:39.
6:39 PM in accordance with RIGL 42-46-4 and 42-46-46-5, specifically 42-46-5A8, disciplinary hearings, discussion, action. I'll do a roll call. Member Demonstrative. Member Candy. Member McFadden.
Aye.
Member Priscilla. Member Haldeman.
Aye.
Member Lake.
Aye.
And Member Stanton Allen. Aye.
Did anybody second that? Yep.
Member Van Dalen stated for the record that the individual to be discussed in executive session has been notified.
All right, we'll move into exec.
Any votes in executive session are reported in the comments from each of the other.